thank you. I'm Joshua Collins with Homeless Advocates for Christ, and I guess I'd just like to first read a proverb in 31 verse 8 and 9. It says, "Open thy mouth full of the dumb, in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and the needy." And I know that God's calling a lot of us to get involved in this. And recently I followed one of our friends that are homeless and mentally ill through the court system. And this kind of was happening in Santa Ana. I actually talked to first his public defender, and I said, "Hey, can you put it in mental health court? Because he's in normal court, and they're about to prosecute him as a normal person, right? Which seems pretty unfair." So, anyways, he said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks for putting that on my radar." And he shifted him to mental health court in Santa Ana. And he went down there, and they said, "Well, since this person decided," I guess he talked to his public defender and said, "I don't want to be in mental health court, but he's mentally ill, so how is it that he can decide for himself, what court I'm going to be in?" But that's what he decided, so they shipped him back to the court in Fullerton, and then he was prosecuted, and he took a deal or whatever. But basically now he has a record, but I think that mentally ill people should not be allowed to decide what court they're in, and it's not really a fair situation there, to prosecute someone that's mentally ill in a normal court. A lot of times they're basically called incompetent to stand trial, and I don't know who to talk to really change that, but I think it definitely needs to happen. And I'm also, of course, concerned about the recent killing of that mentally ill woman in Anaheim. It just seems like they're not being treated right. I actually sent you a video. It's by Brave New Films. It's called Over-Criminalized: Alternatives to Incarceration. And I hope you can watch it. I mean, you can let me know that you will watch it. It's about maybe 30 minutes or so. But it talks about how some cities are actually getting trained the police so that they'll come to them in plain clothes sometimes and talk in a way that will help them to calm down, and then they can deal with them better and get them in more health facilities instead of maybe tasing them and jailing them and maybe even killing them. That's kind of what's happening a lot. And so I don't know if you can take a look at that. I also sent that to a couple different police, and I don't know how many deaths it's going to take of the mentally ill to get us to really get into this, but it takes really no honor to do something that's easy. We need to do something that's difficult, right? Sometimes we need to look at, it's a tough situation, but we can't just ignore it because it's hard. We should get involved in it. So I encourage you guys to hopefully get involved in that. Tate declined to have no meeting with us. He said that they didn't want to change anything that the police are doing or whatever. It sounded like that the leaders, he said the city leaders haven't decided to change anything, so he declined to meet with us. But
Mr. Collins, I'm sorry, sir, but you can that.
The video you sent, did you send that as attachment to an email?
It is the email, actually. My email address, servingjesus99212@yahoo.com. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. We have heard stories of patriotism, and there are stories of good report, and we all applaud them. Now, there's a lot of deceptive names being given to the people by politicians, officials, and organizations like Americans for Prosperity, Heritage Foundation, and others which are funded by the Koch brothers oil industry. And then there we have Mercy House and Bay State Veterans Charity, which are in question. Citizens United equals corporate united. And then we got the Patriot Act, which infringes on our privacies. Now we have the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, which gives the police power to be above the law. Enhanced interrogation, which is actually torture. The right to work, which is really the right to work for less. And Taxpayers Protection Act. Now titles could be deceiving if not followed by actions of what they're supposed to mean. Now, we need to be careful and question what is behind the titles that are given to us. Let's remember Genesis 1, where the snake, being very cunning and deceiving, was able to twist the words of the Lord. Now, we can be kind to the dogs, give them a home, food, bath, and a yard, and they will be our best friends for life, even to the point of sacrificing their own life. But abuse them and oppress them, and they just might turn the other way when we need their help. And that applies to people too. Now the city is called City of Kindness, and there are things that we see happening, like opening a dog park, food drive to feed the needy, and coming home Anaheim. Now we wait for the kindness, the best kindness that could be, in opening the shelter and at least a park for the homeless to have a safe zone. And also, we need to abolish unconstitutional policies that infringe on the homeless rights. Now, the community needs to not judge homeless because they do not know who they judge, as it might be a disabled veteran, an elderly, a mentally handicapped, or someone who just lost their home, job, or has a family to feed. The homeless could happen to anybody. Now, it can even be your neighbor. No one likes to be homeless, and that could happen to anybody. Some homeless just need a helping hand of kindness. Now let's start having some compassion instead of blaming the homeless just for being homeless. Honor them, because some of them are our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And yes, this one day will be for the homeless. And let me tell you, you'll be applauded for it. You'll be honored.
Thank you, sir.
Disneyland has been making over $1 billion a year in profits in Anaheim, but has been paying almost nothing in taxes as compared to the taxes that the hotels and residents have been paying in Anaheim. Disneyland has been directly benefiting from hundreds of millions of our tax dollars. Anaheim tax money that should have been used for more police protection, parks, libraries for Anaheim residents. As a result of the tax money giveaways to Disneyland by such corrupt Disney elected council members as Bradman, Kring, and Murray, Anaheim is in debt almost $1 billion. Since our debt has been caused mostly by Disneyland, Disneyland should be charged a small tax of about $1 on their $99 admission price in order to pay down the huge debt Disneyland created for Anaheim. At the last council meeting, the Disneyland whore, Chris Murray, is once again deceiving Anaheim residents. She has proposed a ballot measure called the Disneyland Tax Protection Act that could protect Disneyland from ever having to pay an admission tax to the city of Anaheim. There are about 20 Anaheim residents like Chris Murray that are committee members of Disney SOAR and are paid tens of thousands of dollars in Disney VIP benefits to betray their Anaheim friends and neighbors. These Disney SOAR committee members are paid by Disney to mislead the public in promoting the tax protection ballot measure that prevents an admission tax for Disneyland. At the last council meeting, Disney SOAR committee members Pat Pepper and Gloria Mayas were paid by Disney to tell outright falsehoods concerning the Disney tax protection ballot measure. Expect other Disney SOAR committee members, such as Larry Sagal, Mitch Caldwell, Sandy Day, and Bill O'Connor, that are paid by Disney to speak falsely at council meetings in promoting the Chris Murray proposed tax protection ballot measure. The proposed ballot measure essentially prevents Disneyland from ever having to pay an admission tax to Anaheim. Remember, the Disney SOAR members are being paid by Disney to lie and destroy the financial future of Anaheim. Thank you for your time.
The following three speakers may.
Welcome.
I'm here to let you guys know there's another name that we need to add to our list of murders in Anaheim. Murders of vulnerable human beings that have been killed by the police, by the Anaheim police. Her name was Monique Deckard. Monique Deckard was a vulnerable, mentally challenged human being who deserved her due process. Witnesses from the apartment building say that the Anaheim police shot her 15 times while inside of her apartment, alone with her little dog, posing no threat to anybody. I demand to know the officers' names. And while we're at it, I need to know the officers' names that shot and killed Robert Moreno. Since a law was passed in 2012 that says that every officer's name that is involved in an officer-involved shooting's name should be released to the public, Anaheim has refused to abide to this, standing by their exceptions. We need to know who the killer is of Robert Moreno and who the killers are of Monique Deckard. Monique Deckard's life mattered. She did not deserve to die, and she goes right in the same category as Roscoe Cambridge, a homeless schizophrenic man who died in the parking lot of the Anaheim Hills substation. Officer Bustamante deemed it necessary to shoot and kill Roscoe Cambridge instead of getting in his patrol car that he was right near the door by and shutting the door. He was right in the substation of the Anaheim Police Department. The Anaheim Police Department claims there is no video coverage of this. Roscoe Cambridge was murdered that day. He was executed. There could have been another way to handle that situation. And the same goes with Monique Deckard. We know in this city that there are repeat offending, unreasonable, trigger-happy officers patrolling our streets. We demand to know the names of these officers that are involved in these shootings. And to anybody out there, before I run out of time, and I would like to say something about the next subject, and that is Dog Park at La Palma Park. Last summer, it is disgusting to me that you guys are evicting the homeless and putting them all under unreasonable suspicion by these murdering cops. Sending these cops to take care of the homeless in the park? Are you trying to get them killed? I went to that park last summer. This public pool sat closed last summer in the heat of the summer. What time is that? Sat closed all summer for the community. Okay, you guys swiftly built your dog park in a matter of months, and you can't even keep the homeless satisfied or in a controlled situation, and you cannot even open the community pool for the kids around the neighborhood.
Your time is up.
Shame on you.
Welcome.
Sorry, I was waiting for this to load. You know, my heart, it really hurts. Do any of you remember July 21st, 2012? The day before my son, Joel Acevedo, was executed by Anaheim PD killer Kelly Phillips? Okay, listen to this. Can you hear that? Do you remember the dog being let out to terrorize young children? Women and families. The day the world saw Manuel Diaz executed by Nick Backshot Benelick. Hearing this song, you know, at the dog park ceremony, you know, it was a mockery of the summer of 2012. Think about it. But your new dog park is more important than the lives that have been forever affected. I mean, I don't know who chose to play this song there, but they're sick in the head to think this was funny or cute. And now we have APD, another person dead, Monique Deckard. She didn't deserve to be executed on her front porch. And I'm tired of the excuses from the chief of police, from all of you, and the never-ending free pass from these officers to keep killing with no impunity. When will your policies change to protect young people of color, the homeless, the mentally ill, people from working-class neighborhoods? What is your public safety board doing to change these policies? The next meeting is April 9th, and I think it's your duty, every single one of you, to be there along with all of us if anything is ever going to change.
Thank you.
We have 2 speaker cards remaining, Teresa Smith and Melanie Grant.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Tate, City Council. I'm here to talk about Monique Deckard also. I know we're not supposed to ask questions, we're just supposed to make comments, but I do have questions. The family says that they had called somebody to come out there because she was having a meltdown, and the police went out there, knocked on the door, and left. Then they get a phone call that she stabbed somebody, and then the police come and kill her. Aren't we supposed to have a unit that can deal with the mentally ill? I mean, I would think that that would help instead of going over there and shooting her. Was Janako there? Because he's supposed to be there when there's a officer involved shooting. Was the police oversight notified about this? Because they should know about these things if they're going to be a proper police oversight. So there's a lot of questions. I really don't have too many comments. I have a lot of questions because this can't continue. Like I said, this woman was mentally ill. We went to visit with the family, and once again, it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing when we have to go meet another family who's lost a loved one, and there's no answers to anything, and it doesn't make any sense. It never makes any sense, and there's always an excuse, and we have to wait so long. I've been waiting 5.5 years. I haven't even gone to trial, and it's very difficult. You'll never have closure, I don't ask you for justice because you're not going to give me my son back. But what we do need is accountability. So I'm hoping that you guys will really... I don't want to see another level of more killings this year. I would hate to have another family go through what we've been going through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, that completes our speaker cards.
With your concurrence, I would like to ask Police Chief Raul Quezada to please come down to the dais and provide you a brief overview of the incident as well as the status in terms of moving forward.
Very good. Welcome, Chief Quezada.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Paul. If I can, I will answer some of the questions that were posed this evening. First and foremost, the death of any person is tragic, be it in this type of situation or an illness or a car accident. Nonetheless, it is extremely tragic. As council is aware, body cameras were approved last year unanimously by the council. And during this incident, there were multiple cameras that were deployed throughout that entire incident. As a promise, the entire department will be fully trained by April 1st, and we are still on track to meet that deadline. I've had an opportunity to review the video that was captured that evening, and I have since turned the video over to the District Attorney's Office as part of their investigation. The video displays the entire incident, and what I really want to emphasize is that it truly displays the danger our officers face each and every day. What I ask and what must be respected at all times is curiosity as to the incident shall never supersede the privacy and the respect of the family of the individual involved in the situation. Further, the curiosity cannot supersede the criminal process, the investigation that must be conducted. Once that is turned over, once we move forward with it, the district attorney shall decide whether they will release the video or not. But again, I cannot emphasize enough with respect to the curiosity. I know there are many community members who want to view the video. I personally, it's very, very tragic, but curiosity does not overrule. With respect to the investigation, again, it is moving forward. It is an independent investigation conducted by the Orange County District Attorney. Answering some of the questions here, did Mike Giannacco, as part of OIR, respond? Yes, he did. He responds as part of the investigation team. With respect to the prior call, and again, I can't get into too many details, the officers did in fact respond to the call, and the Miss Deckard did not come and we're very limited as to what we can do with respect to entry. This is again a tragic incident captured completely on video, and again, once the video is completely reviewed by the district attorney, it truly emphasizes the danger our officers face each and every day. The facts that we heard earlier with respect to the location of the officer-involved shooting is completely not factual of where it occurred, and again, the video will display that. So, with that, any questions I can?
Regarding the video, so will that be viewed by Mike Giannacco, the independent reviewer?
That's correct. So Mike Giannacco does have access to the videos. He in turn will review the video, the footage. He also reports out to the Public Safety Board.
So the Public Safety Board also will have a chance to review that video?
At the time of the conclusion of the criminal investigation, correct.
Okay.
And I want to remind the council that there is multiple investigations. There is the criminal investigation that is done by the Orange County District Attorneys, whether the use of force was justified. There's also an administrative internal investigation, which we generate a report for training and things as such.
Okay. Any other questions this time? Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.